Welcome to Hood Champion Boxing and Sports. In boxing, you find a way to win or you find a way to lose. So Jake Paul and the entire boxing community right now, they're laughing at Eddie Hearn. Some are laughing at him, others are disappointed in him. But the majority are just hugely disappointed in him. But we all know when it comes to Eddie Hearn and Jake Paul, that's not a love-hate relationship. That's I think a high tolerance / hate relationship. Because Eddie Hearn never liked Jake Paul. You can see when Eddie Hearn had an opportunity to engage Jake Paul in the battle of wits, battle of the minds, and he would destroy Jake Paul by insulting him and running circles around him, because obviously Jake Paul doesn't know what he thinks he knows about boxing, about being a promoter. Eddie Hearn's been involved in the sport since he's been 8 years old. Really not fair for these two to get into a battle as far as boxing knowledge, promoting knowledge, and just overall business knowledge, although Jake Paul's done well in his arena. But when it comes to boxing and promoting, he's at a huge disadvantage. But now he seems to have gained the upper hand because Jake Paul was out here. Now, we still don't know if Eddie Hearn has judges in his pocket. But when Jake Paul, talk about stars lining up for people, you know, it's just like stars lining up for Eddie Hearn, getting the AJ Usyk fight in Saudi Arabia, being able to, bring a couple events to Saudi Arabia and make more money for his fighters than any other promoter in boxing, But at the end of the day, stars are lining up for this Jake Paul guy because he went on record and said something, and he's been saying about Eddie Hearn, feeling that he's corrupt, feeling that he's paying off judges. When you look at the scorecards, it makes you wonder how a judge could have given AJ the fight in the first Usyk fight and given AJ the win in the second fight. And it's the same damn judge. With Katie Taylor and Serrano, the same damn judge, okay? So it does make you wonder, well, before this shit with Conor Ben, I'm going to be honest with you. Now, this is me talking, right? I know that there's corruption in boxing, but I wouldn't have thought Eddie Hearn would do anything like that. His dad handed the business down to him, said, you take the reins. He seems like he's all about boxing. He's all about his brand. The fighter comes first. They're the boss. He works for them. He talks a good game. So I honestly didn't think that Eddie Hearn would do anything foul when it comes to boxing. I'm being honest with you. You may feel differently. I just believe, for some reason I believed him. Especially how he came out and says, when it comes to slandering his name, defaming the company, they take that serious, and now they're going to sue Jake Paul. So when all of that was going on, I knew it bothered him what Jake Paul said, but at the same time, and I've been saying this in a lot of videos lately, I knew Eddie Hearn was he's going to seize any opportunity to make some money because he's in the red. I need to come up with a saying for that, man. Because Eddie Hearn's in the red financially as far as the money that he owes to the zone. I know that for a fact. So I wasn't really surprised that he sued Jake Paul. $100 million I was surprised at, but he's suing him for $100 million. So anyway, that was all kind of tabled, set aside. I had forgot about it. Like, okay, well, let's wait and see what happens. But stars lining up. Let's get back to that, right? Stars lining up. Jake Paul goes on record, says this man's corrupt, paying off judges. Then boom, this stuff comes out where Eddie Hearn tries to slide a failed PED test for one of his fighters, Conor Ben, under the world's nose, and we're going to put Eubank Jr. in the ring with him to get killed. And Jake Paul is running with this all the way. I told you he was corrupt and an arsehole. Jake Paul, you may have been onto something. You may have been onto something, Jake Paul. And right now, Jake Paul is sitting there, and he's not saying a whole lot, but he's laughing at him. And this right here, you're going to give a little bit of doubt now to Eddie Hearn and his business. But at the end of the day, we only deal with facts. If it can't be proven, it can't be proven. But, beyond reasonable doubt. When they start, see, Eddie Hearn's got to be sweating. He needs to be put on suicide watch. Somebody needs to be checking up on Eddie Hearn. Because I'm telling you right now, if they start digging, man, if they start digging and probing into Eddie Hearn, into these judges, into fighters he's had that's failed PED tests and been allowed to still go in there and fight against other fighters, right? Looking at who he's paid off and the different things. He doesn't know how to shut up is his problem. And that's good for a person like me because it's entertaining. It gives me something to talk about. It's bad for a person like him because I tell you what, if you know you're guilty of something, that's where you become reticent. You get quiet. You don't know nothing. You didn't see nothing. You didn't hear nothing. You didn't touch nothing. You didn't feel nothing. You didn't smell nothing. You didn't taste nothing. You know nothing about nothing when it comes to a subject or an issue or something that you know you're guilty of. That's where you shut up. Eddie Hearn doesn't do that. So now he's this big target. Everybody, dislikes him, and he says he's jealous of him because he's so successful as a promoter. And he is. You can't take that away from him. He's really good. Problem is now, man, his dirty laundry is being aired out. And, man, if they start probing and digging, whew, boy, I would like to know what they would find out. And now Jake Paul's not going to sit there and just let you, like Eddie Hearn, he's not going to let you bully him or poke him in the eye. Jake Paul's not going to sit back and let you come down and say that he's a liar. He's just out rambling or just chatting crap. You know what I'm saying? He's not going to take that. He's like, okay, Jake Paul doesn't care about 100 million. He doesn't care about 10 million. He really doesn't care. He's gonna sit there and battle back. And right now, I can see people siding with Jake Paul. I can see another whistleblower emerge to say, here's the proof that Eddie Hearn's paying off this judge. You see, the whistleblowers are out now. I wish I had a whistle. I'd blow it right now. You know what I'm saying? The whistleblowers are out. Hopefully Eddie Hearn's been nice to people and not looked down on them and talked to him the way he spoke to Jake Paul when he had opportunity, when he had chances to more or less build Jake Paul up and not attack him. He chose to really just, kill him. And some of these, it's like little face-offs they had. But now, Eddie Hearn wasn't playing nice. Nobody's going to play nice with him. And there are a lot of people who may have been loyal to Matchroom because of his father. That now, with this going on, I can see some whistleblowers emerge who may be aware of what the hell is going on with Eddie Hearn and judges that may strengthen Jake Paul's claims that Eddie Hearn is out here with a judge or judges in his pocket. Now, we know that it happens. Remember that freak, Adelaide Bird, that shit with Canelo and Floyd? You can't tell me that some of these judges aren't getting paid. I've done videos on this. You can go look back. I have almost 500 videos now. But probably in like the first 60, I talk about corruption in boxing and judges. And I did a video about the WBC talking about breaking up their conventions. And I'm not going to get all into it. I'm just going to tell you this right now. For those of you who are saying, man, it seems far-fetched that a promoter can pay off a judge. A promoter can pay off a sanctioning body. A promoter can pay off the guys who do the drug testing. A promoter can pay off the boxing councils in certain cities, right? When they have these conventions, whenever they have them throughout the year, referees go there, managers go there. Some of these guys from the drug testing, from different entities that play a role in making the fight happen, right? They all show up to discuss boxing. Sanctioning bodies show up there and everywhere. All the people who play a critical role as far as the decision makers in these entities, right? They're there talking about things, talking about fights, talking about boxing. You know who else is there with them? The goddamn promoters are there. And when the promoters are there, that's where the corruption happens. Because someone has a fight coming up. Hey, this judge is going to work the fight. They're there at this meeting. All of a sudden, they get a chance to have a little one-on-one. Some money gets exchanged. Discussions take place. And that's where corruptions happen. And that's where you see fights. Like a good example, one of the most ridiculous. Talk about corruption at its finest. I'm not talking about Mayweather Castillo. That shit wasn't bad. That wasn't corruption. Paul Williams, Sergio Martinez. That was horrible. Fernando Vargas, Winky Wright. That was horrible. Okay? That's what you call a robbery. No ski mask, no Vaseline. Just giving it to you raw. Okay? But when you see stuff like that happen, that just blows your mind. Like, how in the world could that judge arrive at that conclusion? Easy when someone puts $100,000 in your pocket. Yo, man, come on, open your eyes. So now with Jake Paul and Eddie Hearn, don't be surprised if Eddie Hearn withdraws this lawsuit, people. Don't be surprised if this lawsuit just goes away. Because I tell you what, right? Let's say you go in a store and you're robbing the store. It's a stick-up, right? Ain't my gun. And you go in there in the store and you're like robbing them. You get, let's say, $50,000 out the store and you're about to leave. Some crazy ass comes in the store and kills everybody but you. Kills the store owner, kills everyone but you. Cops come in, they see the guy with the gun, you hiding in the corner with this $50,000, right? Cops come in trying to find out what's going on. The guy who came to shoot everybody up knows that you robbed him initially, right? When the cops start asking questions, you gonna say something? Or you gonna shut up? Because you know you're guilty of something too, right? That's where you get quiet. You don't say nothing. You just let it play out. Because that person is watching you. Like, all right, I murdered all these people. The cops got me. But you better not say nothing. Because I know you just robbed these people for $50,000. You better sit in that corner and shut up. Because if you come now and start talking, then now you give people a reason to want to open up and say things. Now things come out that you don't want to get out. So it's best just to sit back and say nothing. And with Eddie Hearn right now, with this situation, okay, we caught you. We know you did something dirty, Eddie. But it's best that you leave Jake Paul alone. Because there's people that you associate with who are aware of your wrongdoings. Now, you better keep things super simple and just let it disappear. Because if you go down and feel like you want to make an issue out of this crap, when all these people who are sitting on the sidelines know that you've done wrong and they're tired of your crap, and now you're trying to bring down Jake Paul, well, maybe there's some people out there who may want to come and talk now. So it's best that you don't amplify anything. You keep it simple, you keep it small, you just let it disappear. Because the fallout isn't worth it. And that's what I'm talking about with Eddie Hearn. He's the guy who just went in there and robbed the store for $50,000. But there's these people who are coming in, man, and killed off everybody. You better keep that attention off of him. I'm telling you, because the fact that he's doing dirt, that shit's going to come out. There's going to be somebody who was in the parking lot that saw the robbery. There's going to be somebody who was in the back room, he didn't realize was there, who saw the robbery. And when he starts coming out trying to talk like he's some good Samaritan, some good guy, oh, I tried to stop this guy from murdering everyone in the store. There's people he didn't even realize who are aware of what he did. It's like, yeah, you know what? He was there and whatever, but hey, he robbed. This is what he did that you guys aren't aware of. Then he's in a bad position. So when it comes to him and Jake Paul, I really think that this lawsuit's going to disappear. I would shut up. I would just forget it. I would say, hey, he's a young, immature clown. Can't take him serious. That's how I play it off. And I would just go across my fingers, cross the T, cross my I's, hot cross buns, call the Red Cross. You know, cross my damn legs. I would do whatever it took, man, to minimize things, keep it simple so that Jake Paul doesn't go, or no whistleblowers come out and they turn a bad situation to a worse situation because plenty crap starts to stink. So that being said, man, I think I'm going to leave it as that. The lawsuit, Jake Paul, Eddie Hearn kind of making Jake Paul's kind of looking relevant right now. It's kind of, although he's quirky, something about him is right. No matter if we like him or not, he says a lot of craziness. Something about Jake Paul is right. It seems to be a little bit of integrity to Jake Paul. More than Eddie Hearn. But I'm going to leave it as that. Don't be surprised if this lawsuit gets, dismantled. I have a feeling he's not going to go forward because he's going to, as a result, there's going to be a lot of people who may come out now and say things about Eddie Hearn. Because Eddie Hearn hurt a lot of people. What he did in this last 30 days, 40 days, knowing Ben tested positive, we're going to try to push the fight anyway under everyone's noses. Eddie Hearn hurt a lot of people. There's a lot of fighters that lost out $5,000 paydays, $6,000 paydays, $10,000 paydays. These guys are living check to check, man. They can't afford to lose a fight because of somebody's, greed, because of their lack of integrity. And their promoters, their managers, you know what I mean? In their community, people are aware of things that are happening. And now you got somebody, and it's the guy who doesn't have anything. That's the one that's like, you know what? You hurt me, I'm going to hurt you. That spitefulness, man, that evilness, nefariousness is crazy. And it exists. And I think they're going to show up, especially if Eddie Hearn gives them an opportunity, if he decides to go at Jake Paul, to make himself look like he's holier than thou, and he's a good Samaritan, a good guy, and he's good for boxing, when we know he just pulled some shit right here. I think the world is going to come down on him, and I think he's going to really hurt or put an end to his to Matchroom, and Matchroom being one of the top promoters, at least in boxing. I really feel that way. I could be wrong. I'm not wishing bad on him. I'm just saying, if it was me, I know I just robbed somebody for $50,000, and the guy comes in the store right after I robbed him. I'm trying to leave, and he kills everyone in the store except for me. I wouldn't say a damn thing about who came and did what. I didn't see nothing. I don't know nothing. I don't want no attention on me, because you never know who's aware of what you did. And now you're trying to play good Samaritan, like you try to stop the guy from killing everyone. They're like, yeah, well, hold on. You just pulled a gun on these guys and robbed them for $50,000 before he killed them. So you're just as bad. And that's what I think will happen with Eddie Hearn. Anyway, that being said, y'all keep cool. I appreciate the support. Shout out to the veterans, everyone across all the continents. The channel's growing. Means a lot to me. Can't wait till we can do live feeds. Bring some merch for you guys and have some more fun with this. As always, I'm in the breeze.